All right, guys. So as I mentioned prior in a video before, when it comes to Black Myth Wukong, I'm going to dedicate as much time as I possibly can, bringing you the amounts of coping and seething that is currently happening over this extremely successful game. They are not happy, ladies and gentlemen. When I say they are not happy, trust me, they are not happy. They are melting down over Black Myth Wukong's success, and it's just going to get worse. As the numbers keep going up and up and up, it's just going to get worse. Well, now we have Esports Associate Editor Tom Foley raging at Black Myth Wukong developers and demands that the game include more diversity.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, like I said on my gaming stream Griffcast on Hypnotic Live, the fact that there's people playing this game, right? Imagine playing this game and seeing the epic opener, which is where this screenshot comes from, right? When you're in the clouds, surrounded by the fucking gods, and you're having a Dragon Ball Z style fight. Imagine playing a scene like that, and the first thing in your mind is, where's the diversity? Imagine that you're that kind of gamer, if you even want to call yourself a gamer at that point. Because honestly, let's be real, you're not a gamer at that point. But yes, imagine thinking that and thinking that you're the one that AAA studios are supposed to cater to. It's very clear that diversity, equity, and inclusion does not sell. As much as they want to make you believe that it does, it doesn't. This game, Black Myth Wukong, has destroyed every single narrative that these mainstream losers have relied on for the last few years in one fell swoop. So let's get into this article, guys, from that Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Esports Associate Editor Tom Foley, who previously worked at CBR, shocker, of course, CBR, raged at Black Myth Wukong developer Game Science and demanded they include more diversity in the game. You can't demand shit. You can't demand a fucking toaster at this point, because at the end of the day, when they look and check out the numbers, right? They check out the numbers. They've gotten threatened so many times by so many different news outlets that said, well, this game's not diverse enough. This game's going to fail. This game is not, unless you embrace diversity, you're not going to reach the biggest audience you possibly could reach. Bullshit. All of it is bullshit. This game reached no audience in terms of diversity, right? Except for Asian men, right? Maybe Chinese men. That's it. Because everything else is fantastical creatures. Does this look like white straight males to you? Does anybody on this fucking screen look like a straight white male? No. But they'll try to make it seem as if it is, right? They'll try to push all of this as, oh, only races bought this game. Oh, okay. So it's a game made for straight white males, because that's what you believe races are in your eyes, right? You guys are fucking idiots. Every single one of you, man. Every single one of you. In an article titled Black Myth Wukong's shameless lack of diversity is attracting the wrong type of fans, Foley bemoaned numerous gamers praising the game for not being gay or woke. Foley fumed on August 21st. Puberty's Instagram page shared news of Wukong breaking Steam's single-player record, and the comments are full of unsavory replies from fans delighted the game isn't inclusive because it's not gay or woke, a top comment reads, which at the time of writing has nearly 4,000 likes. So proud of this game that doesn't support any genders or sexual orientations, unlike the other games nowadays, another user said. The common sentiment is that liberals are in tears, and it sounds like right-wing gamers couldn't be happier. It's not even right-wing gamers, though. That's the did this fucking game say, hey, we're trying to reach a right-wing audience, right? Like, did they try to say that? They're trying to reach a right-wing audience, conservative audience, whatever the case is. You dumb motherfuckers live in a world of black and white. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You have no idea. You will look at something like this, and you'll automatically think that everybody playing this game is a right-wing chud. That's the most hilarious thing about this. I know for a fact there's leftists playing this fucking game. I know for a fact that there's centrists playing this game. I know for a fact there's center-left and center-right leaning players playing this game. You want to know why? Because the game is not about politics in any sort of fashion whatsoever. The game is literally just about the fucking Monkey King and his journey to the West. That's all it's about. Monkey King, Journey to the West. That is it. And you guys are trying to make it seem like it's a right-wing thing, but it's not. It's a gamer thing. It's a real gamer thing. People see an opportunity to play a video game that is fun, beautiful looking, action-oriented, RPG-style elements, everything that you can want. And on top of that, it doesn't give a fuck about who you are as a person when playing this game. Doesn't care whether or not you're white or black, doesn't care whether or not you're Asian or Indian, does not give a fuck whether or not you are a Latino, doesn't care. All it cares about is entertaining you, and that's why there is 2.4 million players right now, as the record says, 2.4 concurrent players. That is why. That is the only reason why. Foley then unleashes anger at game science despite giving the game an 8 out of 10 and claiming it to be fantastic. Well, that's because at the end of the day, they can lie, right? They can lie about certain things, but they can't lie about everything. If they lie about everything, it makes it too obvious, right? So they got to tell the truth. And at a certain point, they don't want to be out of the loop, right? They don't want to be the one person who will obviously give the game a 2 out of 10 because it's not diverse enough. So they got to shill to a certain point and give it an 8 out of 10 in the hopes that they get access later on in the future to a company that just made a ton of money. He wrote, but after 40 plus hours, I've yet to encounter a single female character. Nobody cares. Aside from one inanimate mini boss called the Mother of Stone, and no one can convince me that's a good thing. Then nobody can convince you. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what you want to, like, what do you want to say? If you're not even going to have a conversation, then at that point, you can stay where you are and we can stay where we are. We'll enjoy our game and you'll keep coping and seething every single time a DEI-oriented game fails, which is 9.5 out of 10 times. Then it says, from there, he cites a highly skeptical study that claims 10% of all people live disordered LGBTQ lifestyles. This idea that 10% of all people live LGBTQ lifestyles was refuted by the American Life League, who notes the statistic originated from flawed research conducted by Alfred Kinsey in 1948. Bro, you know what's crazy? This number just keeps going up and up every single year, and they're trying to convince everybody that they're gay. That's really what it is, man. They figure the more they increase this number, the more it can be normalized, and the more they try to convince people to try to go down that route. You know, it's indoctrination at its finest. Listen, man, at the end of the day, homosexuality is not the common trait. That is a fact. There is no denying it, no matter how much you want to pretend like it is. I've seen so many numbers. I've seen numbers as high as like 40% or something like that. I think it was like Gen Z is 45% LGBTQ, whatever. It's obvious bullshit, right? It's all just people trying to follow the fad because they realize it makes them look special in public and it gives them the attention. And then when they grow older, they grow out of it. That's really what it is. It's no different than emo and jocks and all that stuff. But to say that 10%, again, the number is bullshit. They're making it up at the end of the day. Homosexuality is not the norm. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's not the norm. There is no denying that whatsoever. The way that we are designed, okay, by a physiological standpoint, it is obvious it was not designed for, dick on dick violence, if you catch my drift. You know what I mean? It's not designed for you to go muff diving. The organization noted Kinsey's research represents a classic example of looking for data to support a preordained set of desirable conclusions. Oh, 100%. They have a narrative, right? They have a narrative and they want to push it. That's all it's about. Nevertheless, Foley uses this new survey to claim the diverse game appeals to more players, which can improve sales by helping developers tap into new markets. He also adds diverse game feel more relatable to a broader audience and satisfy the community's growing demand for inclusivity in the industry. What demand? What demand? Do you have numbers to back this up, Foley? Do you have any numbers to back this up? Because you're trying to say that diverse games appeal to more players, which can improve sales by helping developers tap into new markets. My guy, you're talking to a game that has the second highest concurrent player base on Steam in history. In history, my guy. Like, what kind of fucking sense are you making right now? You're literally trying to sit there holding on to this diversity thread as much as you possibly can, and you're trying to talk to these fucking developers that just smack that entire narrative out your hand? Are you serious right now? You think they're gonna fucking listen to you as if you're gonna be the means for them to gain more players? They have 2.4 million concurrent players, my guy. What do you think you're gonna do? You can't do a fucking thing. Go back into your corner and go play Dustborn. They need you right now. Where's the modern audience? If that's the case, why isn't Dustborn at 2.4 million players? Why? Why is it not at 2.4? Why is it not even at 100K? Why is it not even at 1,000, my guy? This fucking game hit 83 concurrent players. You're really trying to convince people that diversity, equity, and inclusion is what needs to be put into a video game for it to reach the maximum amount of audience? No, it does not. The game has to be apolitical. The game has to be fun. The game has to be engaging. And the game has to just be what it is. A video game. The moment you try to make it into a political statement, you are fucked. In terms of a player base, you are screwed because you are going to alienate over 50% of people right off the bat at an average, right? And then the other 50%, guess what? They don't support the stuff they say they like. That's the amazing thing. We have actual, factual, numerical evidence of this statement. You guys do not support the shit that you say you want in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the ones that do, you are not enough of it. You're not even close. This is why we laugh at you when you use a hashtag, there's more of us, because there's barely any of you to fill a fucking Starbucks up, let alone actually support a $200 million project. You guys do not exist in mass. You guys are very, very small minority on the internet that tries to speak as loud as possible to try to convince these developers to give you what you want for your activism. Black Myth Wukong has spoken very loudly, and we as gamers has spoken very loudly. And I don't know if you heard it, but let me repeat it one last time at the end of this video. Go fuck yourselves. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.